you making mistakes in OET speaking that are quietly destroying your score? Most students don't even realize what they're doing wrong until it's too late. In this video, I'll show you the 5 biggest OET speaking mistakes and how to fix them to make sure you pass your exam with the highest possible score. Now, OET speaking is not just about talking to a patient. It's about showing the examiner that you're capable of having a clear and effective conversation in a healthcare setting. Even small errors can cost you marks. Let's break down those 5 big mistakes and talk about exactly what to do to make sure you avoid them. Mistake number 1 is using overly technical medical language. Remember, you're speaking to a patient or caregiver, not another healthcare professional, so it's very unlikely they will understand the same complex medical terms as you. On the OET roll card, there are usually a couple of terms on there that you will be expected to explain in a patient-friendly way. For example, you wouldn't say to a patient, "You have hypertension secondary to renal insufficiency," because a patient probably wouldn't understand what you're talking about. Instead, you would probably say, "You have high blood pressure, which is probably linked to problems with your kidneys." This is much easier for a patient to understand. So remember, use clear, simple language with short explanations as necessary. Mistake number 2 is not building rapport or showing empathy to your patient. Jumping straight into the facts can feel quite cold and distant to a patient. Remember, the examiner wants to see how you create a supportive, professional relationship. So make sure that you keep in mind how your patient is feeling. When you look at your roll card, try to identify any obvious emotions, such as worry, stress, or anxiety. Usually in the OET speaking test, you will be expected to deal with some form of emotional patient, whether that's anger or distress. So during your 3 minutes preparation time, try to identify how they're feeling and be prepared to respond to this during the role play. So instead of saying, "You've tested positive for diabetes, you'll need to change your diet," which can sound quite cold, instead try saying, "I understand this diagnosis must be difficult for you, but don't worry, I'm here to support you through your new diet plan to make the transition as easy as possible." In this way, we've anticipated how the patient might be feeling and we've responded with empathy. Mistake number 3 is speaking too fast or with hesitations. It can be tempting to speak quickly when you feel nervous, but if this is something that you do, you need to make an effort to slow down. If you speak too quickly, you're going to lose marks for intelligibility. On the other hand, too many pauses and hesitations can affect your score for fluency, so you want to make sure that you're not pausing too much throughout the role play. Here's a top tip for how to improve speaking speed. Record yourself talking, listen back, and decide if you are easy to understand. Do you rush through your sentences and talk too fast, or are you hesitating and pausing a lot? Recording yourself regularly is a great way to get to know your speaking speed and improve. Mistake number 4 is giving too much information all at once. Now, it might seem overwhelming when you're given your roll card with all these bullet points to get through in 5 minutes, but it's very important that you don't rush through these points because the examiner wants to see how you give information to your patient. If you give too much information all at once, the patient is likely to feel overwhelmed or even confused, which is going to cost you marks. So instead, use a step-by-step approach. Go through each point one by one, pause regularly and check that the patient has understood. Use signposting language such as, "Now I'm going to explain," "first," "next," "then," to help guide your patient through the conversation. And this brings me on to mistake number 5, which is failing to check patient understanding. Now, while you're going step by step through all your instructions or information, it's important to pause occasionally and check the patient has understood. The examiner is looking for a two-way conversation, so make sure you involve the patient. Use phrases such as, "Does that all make sense? Is everything okay so far?" Or, "Would you like me to explain any of that again?" Can really boost your score as it demonstrates that you are showing understanding from the patient and effectively giving information. So let's recap those 5 big mistakes. First, we have using overly technical language. Make sure you're explaining medical vocabulary in a way the patient understands. Forgetting to build rapport. Ensure that you're always responding to how the patient is feeling and showing empathy throughout the role play. Speaking too fast or with hesitations. Record yourself regularly so you get to know your speaking speed and can make adjustments as necessary. Giving too much information all at once. Break it down and explain things step by step. And finally, not pausing to check understanding. Make sure you're regularly checking in with the patient to ensure they understand everything. So I've talked about what not to do and the 5 mistakes to avoid. What should you do instead? Well, the answer to that is to practice the right way. Real improvement comes from structured practice and expert feedback. At Swoosh English, we identify your weak points, give you strategies to sound natural and clear, and prepare you for the real exam with realistic role plays. Many students pass their exam after just a few months of targeted professional instruction. So if you want to avoid these mistakes and boost your OET speaking score, book a free call with our Student Success team today. We'll help you create a personalised study plan and show you how Swoosh can support you in your exam preparation journey. Click the link in the description below this video to book your free call today.